Now that I have this fun bodice all drafted and ready to go, it's time to print it out, cut it out, and put it together. Hi, I'm Christina, and I love to digitally apparel pattern, creating unique pieces of wearable art. And I am super excited to be putting this half scale, this asymmetrical shoulder dart half scale together today. We're not even going to get sewing in it, actually. We're just going to cut it out and then pin it onto a form to see how it looks. And I'm super excited. So let's get started. Now that I have my pattern printed off, I'm going to tape it together. I'm going to do this by cutting off one edge of my square that notates the edge of the pattern and then aligning it with the other pattern pieces and the other squares. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut mostly around all of it. When I was actually patterning this, I didn't actually account for the darts, and so the quickest and easiest way for me to make sure that I have all the fabric that I'm going to want in those darts is I'm actually going to mimic it on paper. So I'm going to be folding these darts like I would be folding the paper. With paper, it sometimes is a little bit harder because it doesn't relax like fabric would, but it still makes it that much faster and easier to actually get the dart legs so that I make sure I have all the fabric that I want. There we go. And then I just cut, and I didn't quite cut hard enough, but I now have the baselines of how I need to get it cut, and I can finish cutting it out. There we are, test it out. I'm really excited for how this is gonna look on my half scale. So next, all I have to do is pull out my fabric, pin it down, and then I'm actually going to trace these darts because I wanna make sure that I'm getting them exactly. So I'm gonna grab my tracing paper and my tracing wheel, and I'm going to trace it out just like so. And now that I have it traced out, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Beautiful. Now it's time to unpin and head over to the ironing board. I'm going to actually pin these darts together first and then get kind of like a base press into it. Now I wish I had a little bit thinner pins, because the ball points with the actual pin heads are gonna leave they're gonna have a little bit more bumpy of a look to it than I'd like. But right now my nice pins are not available, so I'm just using the big quilter's pins, and I think it'll turn out okay. So I'm just pressing each one of those, and then once it's nicely pressed, I'm gonna take those pins out and then transfer up to my form. So I left 2 pins up at the shoulder where the darts started, and I'm just pinning it onto my form, and I am loving how she's looking on here. And then it's just gonna go for a little bit of adjustments. So I'm gonna pull the pins out and just kind of squidge or ooge those darts around and give them a little bit of a press to get the bubbles from those pin heads out of there. But for the most part, I am thrilled at how this little girl turned out. Check her out. And there we have it. She is done. I think she came out super, super cute. I am so happy with how these darts ended up looking not sewn and just ironed down. Now, if I was going to do this for real, I'd definitely probably iron it a little bit differently, shape it on a form, and then go for it instead of ironing it first. But, you know, that's always depends on the fabric. There's a lot of the depends that goes into that. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. If you missed me drafting this little girl, make sure to check out that video too, because it is a lot of fun to draft these guys in Adobe Illustrator and then be able to see them on a form. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in some of my other videos. Happy patterning!